please hit that subscribe button. Hey everybody, better suited to win the Stanley Cup this season. If you are new to the channel, Washington Capitals, the Boston Bruins.
Lockdown and he scored! And we're live. Hey everybody, it's Saturday morning, which means it's time for NHL Hot and Cold Teams of the Week, where I look at the 5 hottest and the 5 coldest teams currently in the NHL. Before I get started, I just quickly want to remind everyone to please hit that subscribe button if you are new, and to give this video a thumbs up if you like it, because those likes really do help out the channel a lot and are very much appreciated. So, if you're new for this, what I do is I look at record in last 10 games and current win-loss streak for ranking purposes, and I will tell you who the 5 hottest and 5 coldest teams are currently right now in the NHL. I forget which we started with last week, so I'm going to start with hot this week, and we're just going to go with that. So the number 5 hottest team in the NHL right now, the Colorado Avalanche. They did lose their last game. However, that is their only regulation loss in their last 10. They are 7-1-2 in their last 10 games, playing really good hockey, competing with St. Louis for that top spot in the Central Division and top spot in the Western Conference. So, you know, really good hockey here from Colorado, all with injury issues as well. No Mikko Rantanen, no Nazem Kadri, Cale Makar's been injured, some others as well, Burakovsky. They've had some injury issues here down the stretch of this season. Doesn't seem to matter. Nathan MacKinnon is leading the way, and Colorado is still one of the best teams in the entire league. Number 4, the 4th hottest team in the NHL right now, the Vegas Golden Knights. 8-2-0 in their last 10 games. They did lose their last game, but still, 8 out of the last 10 they have won. That has vaulted them to the top of the Pacific Division, where it certainly looks like they're going to be staying, at least for the time being. They're playing really good hockey. No, it was a little shaky the first half of the season for Vegas. They made the coaching change. Here in the second half of the season, they've looked much better, much more like the team I thought they were going to look like this season. And they're a hot team here headed down the stretch and into the playoffs. So definitely not a team I would want to have to face in the first round, to say the least. Number 3, the St. Louis Blues, also 8-2-0 in their last 10 games. Also lost their last game, but still have won 8 out of 10. Still leading the Central Division. St. Louis has been one of the top teams all season long. They are still the top team in the Western Conference and playing really good hockey here. And I mean, it's the Blues. It's what we've seen from them all season long. They're a very good team, defending Stanley Cup champions, looking to head into the playoffs hot and defend their Stanley Cup title. Number 2 on the list, the second hottest team in the NHL right now, the Boston Bruins, leading the Atlantic Division, 8-2-0, also in their last 10 games. However, they are currently on a 4-game winning streak. Looking to make it 5 tonight against the Tampa Bay Lightning at home in what will be an absolutely outstanding matchup. Cannot wait for that one tonight. As you can see, I've already got my Bruins stuff on. I am decked out for that one. Cannot wait, but Boston lately has just been absolutely on fire, playing incredibly good hockey. Defeated Tampa Bay, one of their toughest opponents, earlier this week on Tuesday. What part of that 4-game win streak? They're just playing lights out hockey right now, and they are starting to re-extend that lead at the top of the Atlantic Division. Certainly looks like Boston is going to win the division this year. I mean, there's still a month left. Things can happen, but knock on wood, hopefully I don't jinx it. It does look like Boston is going to take the Atlantic this season. And that leaves number 1, the hottest team in the NHL right now. I think you all know who it is. If you follow hockey at all, you know it. It's the Philadelphia Flyers. 9-1-0 in their last 10 games. And a 8-game win streak, looking to extend it to 9 today against Buffalo. Absolutely massive run here for the Philadelphia Flyers, going from being a wild card team and on that playoff line to competing with Washington for the division lead in the Metropolitan, which is the toughest division in the NHL. Philadelphia has just been lighting it up recently, and you know, 8 wins in a row. They're looking to keep it going. They have been playing the best hockey we've seen from the Flyers in years. The last couple weeks here, the last few weeks here. It's just been absolutely outstanding. So Philadelphia is by far the hottest team in the NHL right now. Incredible what we're seeing from them, and it certainly looks like they have a very legitimate chance to win the Metropolitan Division this year, which would be absolutely huge and could give us a Washington versus Pittsburgh first round in the Metro, which would be absolutely insane, and I think we all would want to watch every single minute of that. But Philly just been absolutely unreal and lighting it up so far over the past few weeks, and we'll see if that continues here the rest of the way, but they are your hottest team in the NHL right now. So let's switch it over now to the cold side, the teams that are not playing well, and we have a tie for 5th place. No, I know it's supposed to be top 5, but we have a tie for 5th place. Florida and Washington, both 3-5-2 in their last 10 games, both lost their last games in overtime. So there's really nothing there to differentiate between the two other than Florida's outside of the playoff picture and Washington still competing for the division lead. But recently, it's been a struggle for both of these teams. Florida and Washington only 3 wins in their last 10. Not playing their overall best, to say the least. And, Florida's going to need to turn it around and turn it around fast if they want to make any run at a playoff position this year. And Washington, if they don't turn it around, is going to lose that division lead to Philadelphia and end up having to play Pittsburgh in the first round. So, it's been a rough go here for these two teams, and they are both pretty cold right now. Number 4, we've got Carolina, who is also 3-5-2 in their last 10 games, but have lost their last game in regulation. So no points for them in their last game, and still 3-5-2 over the last 10. This is a team on the outside looking in, fighting for a playoff spot, trying to pull into a playoff spot. Winning 3 out of 10 games is not going to get you back into a playoff spot. Carolina desperately needs Peter Mrazek back in goal. He hasn't played since the end of February. They need him back, and they should hopefully be getting him back soon. I believe the timetable for that was 7 to 10 days for Mrazek, and that was a few days ago now. So hopefully Peter Mrazek gets back in goal for Carolina, and they can make some sort of a run at a playoff spot. They are very, very cold right now with only 3 wins in their last 10. However, that's not as bad as it gets, as the number 3 team is a team that Carolina is fighting for playoff position with, the Columbus Blue Jackets, who are just 2-4-4 in their last 10 and lost their last game in overtime. Columbus here, they are a team that is maintaining playoff position somehow, mostly because the teams around them are not playing well either, but only 2 wins in their last 10. Now, the good thing for Columbus is all the overtime losses, which 4 of their last 10 games have been OT losses. They're still picking up the loser point in those games, which is very, very important for the standings. But only 2 wins, and it's going to be a struggle for Columbus to maintain playoff position if they only win 2 out of 10 games. I mean, obviously Carolina's struggling, the Islanders are struggling, which we'll talk about in a second. So that's helping Columbus maintain playoff position. But down the stretch here, they're going to have to start winning some games, and they are very cold right now. So we'll see what happens going forward, but just 2-4-4 in the last 10 for the Blue Jackets. That brings us to the number 2 coldest team, who we talked about yesterday, the New York Islanders. They are slumping at the absolute worst time, watching themselves drop in the standings, as now they are the number 2 wildcard team, just holding on to playoff position. 2-6-2 in their last 10 games, and they have lost 3 in a row now. So it's been a real struggle here for the Islanders, who are picking the worst time of year to come up cold and not play well. But they've still got time to turn it around. We've still got about a month of the season left. But just 2 wins, 6 regulation losses in their last 10, and they are watching their playoff hopes start to become endangered here. And they're watching themselves fall deep, farther and farther in the standings, down to now where they are right on the playoff line. So it's been a struggle for the Islanders here recently, and they are the number 2 coldest team in the league. And that leaves us with number 1. Again, I feel like they're on the cold list every single week. They're number one most weeks. It's our old friends, the Detroit Red Wings. Just the miserable season for Detroit continues. 2-7-1 in their last 10 games. They did win last night, which was a nice win for them over Chicago. However, still just 2 wins in their last 10, 7 regulation losses, just 5 points out of a possible 20 in that 10-game stretch. Just the brutal season, the tanking for Lafreniere continues for Detroit. They're by far the worst team in the league this year. So they're your 5 coldest teams. So we've talked about your 5 hottest, your 5 coldest. There they are, guys, in the NHL right now. Please hit that like button, subscribe, comment, share this video. Do everything to keep this channel growing. If follow us on social media, all those links are down in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon and merchandise store are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.